I hope you're well and having the most incredible day. As always, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well. In today's video, we are doing another reading vlog, one which I've wanted to do for so long. And essentially in today's video, we are going to be reading my highest rated book that is on my physical TBR and my lowest rated book, which is on my physical TBR. I am so excited. I've wanted to do this video for months, I'm not gonna lie, but I've been putting it off, and I think it's because I do have an inkling as to what my highest rated book on my TBR is gonna be, and I don't know why I've been putting off reading this book, because every single person that I have spoken to, that I have seen that has read this book has absolutely devoured it, and I feel like a little bit of me is a little bit scared. Maybe I'm a little bit apprehensive, like I just don't want to not like this book. I feel like I've been told how good this book is and I'm expecting great things, but today's the day we're going to start this vlog and I'm so excited. So come along with me, let's read my highest rated book on my TBR and my lowest rated book on my TBR. Okay, so going on to my Goodreads and having a look on my TBR is over 450 books, which I know is a lot. I have a lot of books, I have so little time to read them all, and I keep buying new ones. But anyway, it's a vicious cycle, but we're going to pretend like it's not happening. Let's go on to my TBR, let's go on to the average rating section, and let's put it into reverse first. So, the lowest rated book on my TBR list is The Fake Up by Justin Myers. So, The Fake Up by Justin Myers has had 523 ratings, and it averages out about a 2.97, which isn't great. I mean, I don't really know on the grand scheme of things if that is great or not, but considering I've got 467 books in my physical TBR list, I feel like that's not so great. So we are going to be reading that. Let me just go and grab that book. Okay, so I've grabbed the book. Here we are. This is The Fake Up by Justin Myers. I'm not going to lie, I really like the cover of this book. It screams holiday, it screams summer, it screams beach read. Like, I feel like this is a book which I would really want to read while on holiday. And let's have a look on the back, because I actually have no idea what this is about, so let's read the back together. Dylan and Flo are over. Everyone thinks they know what happened between them and they've already picked a side. Despite outward appearances though, the star-crossed lovers are giving it another go, and they've never been happier, but the only way to stay together is to make sure nobody discovers the truth. She nearly did it. I nearly read the whole thing without stuttering then. So the blank... I spoke too soon. So they blank each other at parties, they meet in ridiculous disguises, he clambers through her bedroom window when nobody's looking. But Dylan and Flo are in way over their heads and the games have only just begun. I don't really know what this is about. I guess dating your ex in secret? I don't know. I'm excited anyway. It sounds like a nice read. There are seagulls squawking outside. I do apologise if you can hear that, and if you can't hear that then that's really embarrassing, but there's seagulls squawking outside. So anyway, this is the first book we're going to be reading in today's vlog, and let's find out what our second book is. So again, going on my Goodreads, I'm just going to reverse the rating situation, and I am going to skip things which are either in a series that I haven't started or kind of midway series books, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to scroll down until we hit something that isn't part of a series. For example, we've got Throne of Glass, we've got the Calloway Sisters series, we've got Redeeming Boys of Tommen, okay, I thought it was going to be this one, and this is why I've been putting this off. So the book we're going to be reading is, of course, Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. This has had 1,542,387 ratings, and it scores a 4.59. Absolutely insane. So here we have my edition of Fourth Wing. This is like the OG kind of first run, I suppose, and then I also do have the collector's edition style book from Waterstones, and I also have the paperback. Why do I have 3 copies? Can somebody please let me know? Anyway, let's read the synopsis together. I've actually never read it, so I'm really excited. 20-year-old Violet was supposed to enter the scribe quadrant, living a quiet life amongst books and history. Now, the commanding general, her tough as Talon's mother, has ordered Violet to join the hundreds of candidates striving to become an elite of Navarre. Oh, I'm going to pronounce that wrong. Basically, dragon riders. But when you're smaller than everyone else and your body is brittle, death is only a heartbeat away, because dragons don't bond to fragile humans, they incinerate them. With fewer dragons willing to bond than cadets, most would kill Violet to better their own chances of success. The rest would kill her just for being her mother's daughter. Like Xaden the most powerful and ruthless wing leader in the Riders Quadrant. I've heard about Xaden. I've heard good things about Xaden. She'll need every edge her wits can give her just to see the next sunrise. Yet, with every day that passes, the war outside grows more deadly, the kingdom's protective wards are failing, and the death toll continues to rise. Even worse, Violet begins to suspect leadership is hiding a terrible secret. Everyone at Bagsgarth has an agenda, so sleep with one eye open, because once you enter, there's only two ways out. Graduate or die. Wow. Firstly, that was a tongue tie. You guys have no idea how many times it took me to read that without getting like the words all confubbled, and hopefully I've edited it so it kind of flows nicely. But that is the second book. I feel like we couldn't have gone more different for this video. We have like a romance situation and a fantasy book that's absolutely ginormous, so I'm so excited to dive in. I feel like both of these books have been on my TBR for such a long time, and I feel like it is time. It is time to read these books and give you guys my opinion. So let's dive into the reading vlog. I hope you guys enjoy the video and carry on watching. So I've decided to go with the highest rated book first, and I feel like I'm slightly setting myself up for failure here, because if I read the really good one first, it's gonna put me in a slump for the bad one. I can see it happening now, but I cannot put this book off any longer, and that is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. I don't know why I haven't read this book. I think it's the hype of it. I'm just so nervous that I'm not gonna love it, but I just cannot wait to get into this. The map alone is beautiful. Honestly, I just cannot wait to dive into this. So let's start reading Fourth Wing. I hope you guys enjoy this reading vlog. And yeah, let's go. I am scared, but I'm so excited. Okay, let's go.
I've been around, but I can't get you out of my head. Try to stray, try to forget, but the thoughts, they seem to drown me instead. I've always wondered what it takes to fill this empty void inside, but now I've realized you were what I needed this whole time. I've been around, no one else has got me feeling this way. Every minute, every hour I spend is on you every single day. I've always wondered what it takes to fill this empty.
When I tell you I did not expect to love this book as much as I'm loving this book, it's so good. Okay, so also I'm so sorry I look like an egghead. I cannot stop looking at myself in the viewfinder because this is just not... Anyway, mind your business. We're going to move on from that. So, Fourth Wing. Honestly, I am obsessed with this book. I absolutely love it, and I love all the characters, and I love the world building. I love the idea of the book, and I just cannot put it down. I'm on chapter 23, so I am making progress. I just love it. I absolutely am obsessed. So if you guys are debating on reading Fourth Wing, I actually went into this book pretty much blind, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really know an awful lot about this book before diving in, because that is my favourite way to get into a sort of series, is just to go into it blind. But basically, you're reading as Violet, and Violet is essentially, she's a girl who is sent to go and be a rider for the dragons, sort of. It's really hard to explain it. I feel like the synopsis of this book does explain it very well, but essentially she wanted to be a scribe, and then she gets sent to go and be a rider instead. So instead of basically doing one kind of task, I suppose, she's sent to do something a lot more dangerous, a lot more physical, and a lot more just overall difficult, and she gets sent to go and do that. Along the way she meets Xaden, who is the kind of out of bounds bad boy type, and we love him. There's just so much that goes on. It does give me Powerless vibes, but with a little bit more going on, and I absolutely loved Powerless, and I'm absolutely obsessed with this. So this is your sign. If you have been contemplating reading this book for the past year and a half like me, I highly recommend it. It is not disappointing, and I'm absolutely in love with it. I'm sorry I'm not going to give you too much detail into what the book's about, because I really don't want to spoil it. I think if you're going to read this book, just go into it blind. If you like a fantasy and you like an element of romance, this is really good, and it's not too YA either. I don't really think it's classed as YA, to be honest, because of some stuff that's in this book, but yeah, it is just perfection. I highly recommend it, and I'm just loving it so much. So yeah, this is your sign. Read this book. You're welcome. So I have officially finished Fourth Wing. Thor, do you mind? Because if I give you your ball, you're going to squeak it, aren't you? I have officially finished Fourth Wing. This book did not disappoint. I absolutely loved this book. I laughed, I cried, I just envisioned everything about this book, and it was just... God, it was exactly as I expected it to be and more. It was just phenomenal. This book was obviously a 5-star read. I can understand why so many people rate this book so highly. It basically, I'm not gonna lie, it did remind me a lot of Powerless by Lauren Roberts. Like the world of it, the kind of the trials and things like that, it did give me Powerless vibes. But I don't know which one I loved more, because I really enjoyed both of them. I really loved the dragon element in this, because that was just something that I didn't... Thank you! That was just something that I didn't expect to love. Like, me being not the biggest fantasy girly, like I loved ACOTAR and I loved Powerless, but something about this with the dragons and things like that, I just absolutely loved it. The connection from human to dragon was just really sweet, and it made me really love them as characters as well, which I never thought I would say. So this one, by no surprise, was an absolute 5-star read, and I can definitely see why people loved it so much. I completely understand the hype, and I will be diving in to the second book as soon as possible, because it was just amazing. I also just love the kind of the map of all the places as well, because it really helps you envision like the distances, and it was just really fun to read. So yeah, this was an absolute 5-star read. Shall I say it again? 5-star read. So I loved it. So now we are going to dive into the second book for this video, which is The Fake Up, and I am a little bit nervous about it, I'm not gonna lie. I've not heard great things about this book, and obviously going by Goodreads, this is my lowest rated book that I have on my TBR, so I am a little bit nervous. So as I said, the next book I'm going to be reading in this video is The Fake Up by Justin Myers. I am just a little bit nervous. I feel like I should have read this one first, because I don't think this one, it's not going to be anywhere near as good as this one. I just know that's going to be the case, because everybody loves this. People don't really love this one, so I am a little bit nervous. However, I am really excited to dive in. I've had it on my TBR for so long, I feel like I just need to get it gone. It's not overly long either. It's 370 pages, so I feel like I can really easily just dive into this and get it finished. I don't know what it's about. I have literally heard nothing about it, but I am excited to dive in. So let's dive into book 2 for this video. I hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, let's go. I don't really know what to say about this book. I'm 72 pages in and nothing is happening. Nothing is happening. Honestly, I don't even know where this story is going to go. I read the back before. I don't really remember what's going on. Like, is it going to fast forward in time? I have no idea. We basically have Dylan, we've got Flo. It's in third person, which makes me want to throw up. I don't really understand where this is going, apart from the fact that all of Flo's friends are just awful. Dylan has no money. He's an actor, but he hasn't really got any roles, so he's just like got no money coming in, so he's like stressed about that. But Flo wants to pay more for stuff, but Dylan doesn't want her to. And that is literally all that's going on, guys. There is nothing in this book that's drawing me in. If I was not reading this for this video, I would have given up by now, because I'm just really not obsessed with it. I don't care for the characters. All the characters are annoying. All of the people in this book are just either like stuck up, pretentious rich people, or they work and they have no money. Like, I just don't understand this book. I don't like any of the characters. Everyone is annoying me. Dylan is annoying me. He got really drunk because he was depressed and he was being a bit of an ass. And then Flo is annoying me because she's just being like completely blinded by the fact that Dylan doesn't like the fact that she has money and he doesn't. It's just all a bit of a weird situation. I don't really like it. I wish I did. But we're 72 pages in and I've been reading it for 4 days. Usually I like to finish a book within 2 to 3 days. Like 3 days is my maximum that I like to get a book completely finished by. I am on day 4 and I'm 72 pages in. I just cannot bring myself to pick up this book. I read like 2 pages and I'm bored. So I put the book down. I read a different book for some other reason. Like I want to read a book that's not this one, and then I pick this up, I read like another 2 pages, and it is just so not my favorite. And I feel really bad because like this is somebody's work in this book. I'm just really not obsessed with it. I'm really hoping that like sometime soon a big plot happens, because like nothing is going on, which is a shame. But anyway, that is where we're at with this book. I will continue reading it, but at this point in time I am just not loving it. I'm just not. So I might try and find the audiobook or something, because I'm really struggling to read the paperback at the moment. So yeah, that is where we're at. Let's carry on. One thing about this book that I don't enjoy whatsoever is that because it's in third person, well actually it's not even because it's in third person, I don't know why they do it, but for some reason you'll be reading as Dylan for a bit of it, and then all of a sudden within the same chapter you go to Flo's point of view, but like in third person. So you'll be reading it, and unless you're really paying attention, like it just doesn't make sense, because you're going from like the actor side of Dylan to like the singer-songwriter of Flo, and it gets really confusing. I don't know why they did that, or they could have at least like put the names of the person above. I don't know. I'm just not enjoying it. It's just too much, too complicated. Not my vibe. So we are currently on page 184. Am I loving this book yet? No. I don't know what it is about this book. I think it's partly because I know this is a low rated book on Goodreads, so in my head I'm thinking it's not going to be good. Like, I trust you guys more than I trust myself, and I'm thinking if you guys didn't like it, like I'm not gonna like it. So I'm kind of reading it and like knowing in my head I'm not gonna like it, but also it's just so unlikable. Like I don't like to be too critical with books, because I feel bad, because I know that somebody out there has put their heart and soul into this book. But I'll tell you what I don't like. I don't like the characters. I hate them all. I'm reading in third person, so instantly I don't like it. Also, it goes from being in one person's like, not point of view, but like you're reading about one person to straight reading about the other person without any kind of like chapter break. I just hate it. I've also broke the spine. I broke it on purpose because I thought I want to see what it's like to break a book spine, and I hate this book so much. So if this triggers you, I'm so sorry, but I do recommend, as somebody who would never ever break a book spine and who's mega OCD about things being pristine, I highly recommend getting a cheap book from the works. And if you don't like it, just like do this, because it's really therapeutic, but also like to read it, it's perfection, I'm not gonna lie, but the book itself is just so boring. I am gonna definitely finish it, because I feel like for this reading vlog I want to finish the book to give you my overall thoughts and opinions, and we are maybe just over halfway. No, we're not even halfway. Are we halfway? There's 370 pages and I'm on 184. Yeah, I'm over half. Am I? No, I'm not over halfway, I don't think. Anyway, I feel like it could turn around. I might like it. I just don't think it's for me. I don't like third person at the best of times anyway, but if it's a third person book which is really, really good, I can kind of get on board with it. But this is just, I just can't, guys. I just don't know what it is. I just don't like it. I've been reading this for ages as well. So I first started this reading vlog back in June. So I'm really giving you guys like the insider tea here. So I started filming it back in June when I read Fourth Wing, which I love. I started reading this book. I can't even tell you. Have a look at my Goodreads, by the way. I always link it down below, because it will tell you when I started reading this book, but I can't focus on it. I read maybe 20 pages and then I I'm just like bored. So I do something else, or I read something else. I will finish it. Mark my words, I am gonna finish it. But yeah, that's my update. Still don't like it, not enjoying it, not having a great time. But if you liked this book, let me know, because I'm really happy for you, but it's not for me. No, absolutely not. I am gonna definitely finish it. I will finish it. Mark my words, I am gonna finish it. You're probably sitting watching this thinking, Melody, did you finally finish the book that you've been reading since the 25th of June? The answer is no. I did not finish this book. I am not going to finish this book. I got to page 187, which is about halfway. I just don't like this book. It's either putting me in a reading slump or it's turning my brain into mashed potato to the point where I'm opening this book and I feel like I could just fall asleep. Like I just don't like this book. I feel awful saying it, but like this book just makes no sense. I feel like it's in third person, which I can look past sometimes. I feel like I can get over it. It jumps from one POV to another within pages, so it gets very confusing. I hated every single character. Like there's no character in this book that I liked at all. I hated them all. I just cannot put myself through another 180 odd pages to finish this book. So I am so sorry. We are DNFing this book. I am still gonna rate it. I'm gonna rate it 1 star because I feel like the storyline of this book could have been great. The whole kind of, you're in a relationship and you break up and you're kind of back together but sort of pretending not to be together. I feel like that could be a really good kind of plot line for maybe like a dark romance, a bit more of like a spicy romance book, but this was just dull. I just really didn't like it and I'm so sorry. If you've read this book and you absolutely loved it, I would love to know because I just cannot get on board with loving this book. It just made no sense to me. I just don't like it at all. So unfortunately, I did DNF this book. This is my second DNF ever and I feel like it deserves to be because it was just so, it was dull. It was not good. I didn't like it. I will never read it again. Shan't recommend it, and I will be donating this to a charity shop near you. So I'm gonna get rid of that one. So that is everything for this reading vlog. I really hope you guys did enjoy it. And if you got this far into the video, please leave me the little brown bear emoji down below because I would love to know. And also, obviously, if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do so. This is a great place to be. We're a great little community and I love you all so much. So that is it for today's video. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys.